Most people won't say this out loud, but you've probably felt it. The more available you are, the less seriously you're taken. The more you adjust, the less you're valued. And sometimes, the moment you pull back just a little, people start treating you differently. It feels confusing at first because you were taught that being kind, consistent, and easy to be around should naturally earn respect. But in reality, respect doesn't always grow from how much you give. It often grows from what cannot be easily taken. When someone feels they can fully predict you, something subtle begins to change. They know you will say yes. They know you will be there. They know you will adjust. And without realizing it, they stop paying close attention. Not because they want to disrespect you, but because your presence starts to feel guaranteed. The human mind works in a simple way. It pays more attention to what feels uncertain. It values what it might lose. And it becomes careful around what it cannot control. So when you are always available, always agreeable, always understanding, you remove that sense of uncertainty. You become easy to manage. And when something becomes easy to manage, it often becomes easy to overlook. You can see this pattern in many parts of life. In relationships, the person who is always there is often appreciated less than the one who has clear limits. At work, the person who never says no is given more tasks, but not always more respect. In everyday interactions, people tend to test how far they can go, especially when no clear boundary is present. This is not always conscious behavior. Most people are not thinking about control in a direct way. They are simply responding to what feels stable and what feels uncertain. Stability creates comfort, but too much comfort can reduce awareness, and when awareness drops, respect often follows. This is where boundaries begin to matter. A boundary is not distance, and it is not rejection. It is a quiet line that shows where you stand. It tells people that your time, your energy, and your presence are not unlimited. Once that limit exists, something changes. People begin to pay more attention. They listen more carefully, and they become more aware of how they interact with you, because now they cannot fully control the outcome. You may have already experienced this without naming it. Maybe there was a moment when you stopped saying yes to everything, or you stopped explaining yourself so much, or you simply became less available. At first, people may have questioned it or pushed back, but over time, their behavior adjusted. They started respecting your time more, speaking to you differently, and treating your presence as something that mattered. Nothing about your worth changed in that moment. What changed was how accessible you were, and with that, how controllable you were. It's important to understand this clearly. This is not about becoming cold or distant, and it is not about playing games or making people chase you. It is about being steady in who you are, without making yourself easy to shape. You can still be kind, supportive, and present. But when that care comes with no limits, it slowly loses its weight. When it comes with clarity and boundaries, it gains strength. So if you notice that you are being overlooked, taken for granted, or not fully respected, it's worth asking a simple question. Where have you made yourself too easy to control? Not as a judgment, just as awareness. Because respect is rarely something you can demand directly. It forms quietly, based on how you show up and what you allow. And when you begin to hold your space with a little more clarity, when not everything about you is easily predictable or always available, people start to see you differently. Not because you changed who you are, but because you stopped making yourself easy to overlook.